Good evening. This week's post is going to focus on the community of inquiry theoretical framework. Um, I chose to do this one because it has more of a focus on the distance learning education technology that we're going to be using um, in our future careers as educational technologists. So I wanted to focus on a theory that really took into effect the technology that's going to be used and how to incorporate that into your design for your courses. First, I wanted to give a quote from Dr. Randy from D. Randy Garrison in his book E-Learning in the 21st Century. And the thing that I wanted to focus on here was a definition of this community of inquiry theoretical framework. And he says that online learning is a tool of transformation, and as higher education responds, a new pedagogy is emerging. A pedagogy that is based on a changing sense of community and is inquiry-based. This pedagogy that Miller refers to is a community of inquiry theoretical framework. And as a result, online learning is blurring the distinctions between online and campus-based learning, and distance education, in the form of online communities of inquiry, is moving into the mainstream of higher education. And I think that's the direction that we're seeing a lot of schools going, taking their classes in the direction of more online communities of learning. So let's look at some of the things that are included in this framework, in this theoretical framework. First of all, we have e-learning. Now, of course, e-learning, according to Clark and Mayer, is instruction delivered on a digital device, such as a computer or a mobile device that is intended to support learning. So e-learning has to have some kind of a digital device attached to it or used in it. Otherwise, it's not going to be e-learning. If you're just reading out of a book, or if you were just having a lecture, then it's not going to be e-learning. E-learning has to have a digital device, has to have some kind of electronic digital device. Now, along with those devices, you're going to have Web 2.0 tools, things like online video recorders and that kind of thing. You're going to have social media, Twitter, Facebook, Google+, those kinds of things. And of course, you're going to have mobile learning. You're going to have iPad, iPhone, Android apps that you can use for learning. The other major piece of this theoretical framework is blended learning. And blended learning is the full integration of face-to-face and online activities. So blended learning is going to be a little bit of both. Picture, if you will, a classroom where the students come in and they sit and they get face-to-face instruction, but they also might connect with a school halfway across the country and do some video conferencing with them and have that a part of their learning. So, and also doing some online research projects and things of that nature. So that would be a blended learning, is integration of face-to-face and online activities. There are two really important factors that need to be a part of this theoretical framework. And the first one is the social presence. And one of the main problems with online learning is that the students can feel isolated. And they can feel like they're kind of on an island and that they're by themselves. I mean, you have students, some of these classes, some of our classes here at Liberty are students from around the world. So, it's very easy to feel like you're alone when you're the only one in your town, or you feel like you're the only one in your state that's in this class. So there needs to be a social presence through Twitter, through Facebook, through what we did with the whole big class discussion when we all got into that WebEx and we all talked together. Those kind of things have to be there. There also needs to be a cognitive presence, and this has to include reflective thinking and higher order learning outcomes. It can't be just fluff. There's got to be learning. There's got to be real higher level learning, especially for the university undergraduate level. In order for this to really be effective, there's got to be learning involved. Some of the strengths of this framework: it focuses on the social connection, like we had talked about, and it really tries to help students feel connected to each other and to the group, to the class. It's got a cognitive focus, the focus on actually learning something important, and higher level thinking skills, and then the use of technology. Of course, distance learning and e-learning and all those things are going to rely heavily on technology, and this framework really incorporates that in as part of the design process. Some of the weaknesses that might be included is, we talked about the isolation of the learner, feeling like they're on their own, like they're on an island. And that's something that really has to be taken into consideration when you're designing these classes. And then over-reliance on technology. Sometimes technology can be a crutch, and we can depend on that technology to be what delivers our information, and to be what facilitates the learning, to the point where we don't even consider what the students are learning. We're just throwing technology at them, and we're just saying, okay, here, use this, and then this will be good enough. So sometimes there can be an over-reliance on that technology, and that needs to be something that you really need to be careful of. So this theory supplies the foundation for course development in these e-learning classes. And it's important to keep the learner in mind throughout the design process, and I think that's the major thing that needs to be understood with this. It's learner focused. It's got to be, keep the learner in mind. Kind of like when a business produces a product and they try to keep the end user in mind, you need to keep the end user or the learner in mind as you're designing your courses for this online learning. So thank you for watching my blog, and I'm looking forward to your comments and to having a discussion about them.